Yo, what is up, guys? Draco Sean here, back with another video, and this is chapter 1060. Wow. This chapter was pretty good. I would say it's not as good as the last two chapters overall, but this chapter was definitely still good. So it's kind of like three parts of this chapter mostly. It's the stuff with Luffy and his crew, the IMU stuff, which I definitely want to talk about that, and then finally the BONNEY stuff, I guess. So first of all, Luffy finds out about Sabo, which, again, his immediate reaction is there's no way Sabo did it. And Luffy's been a bit... This is why I'm saying I feel like Luffy needs to get a reality check sometimes. Like, he can't do everything. And that's why Wano is such an annoying arc. Because it just makes Luffy feel like he's an actual deity. But now we found he actually is a deity. So Luffy can do whatever the hell he wants. Like, it just kind of annoys me. Like, Luffy hasn't really been... he hasn't been humbled, I feel like. Like, he's really arrogant, and it kind of annoys me a bit. Like, he's like, oh, I'm just gonna go and do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm like, Zoro's like, relax, calm down, let's think this through. So I like that from Zoro as well. Good right-hand energy from Zoro, my boy Zoro. Even though I hate the way Zoro was handled in Wano, I like this, it's cool. But yeah, his crew don't believe it. They're talking about Vivi, obviously, because they're concerned for Vivi. Yeah, there's a throwback scene kind of to the Straw Hats when when the Straw Hats left Alabasta, and Zoro was saying like, don't sulk about Vivi, and they were just insulting Zoro. And I think there's a little panel here which is exactly the same as that, so that's kind of funny, little throwback there. But yeah, it's annoying because we also get introduced to quote unquote Luffy's dream, which we still don't know what it is. But the crew have now found out what Luffy's dream is. So Luffy has now told several people about his dream. So his crew know it, Yamato knows it, Sabo, Ace, and Shanks, and that's it. And maybe Caribou, which that's another thing as well. What the hell is Caribou doing here? I thought he was going to be doing his own thing, but I guess... Well, I mean, maybe he's still going to tell his mystery person about the ancient weapon that's in Wano. So when we get off at the next island... Because again, I think... the person that Caribou is talking about could either be Blackbeard or Crocodile. The only reason I say Crocodile is because we know that Crocodile is he was after Pluton at one point. So if he found out about this, yeah, 100% he will be down to do it. But yeah. But anyway, back to the main stuff, because Caribou will get to, because I'm sure whatever Oda is of Caribou, it has to be important. It's got to be important. But yeah, Luffy's talking about his dream. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's something serious. I think it's something funny. But we did find out actually that Shanks had tears actually rolling down his face, which I think that's something that we know, because remember, Shanks told Rayleigh that Shanks said the exact same words that Luffy said. So Shanks told Rayleigh that Luffy said the exact same words as Roger did. So this reaction from Shanks apparently makes a lot of sense, that he had tears, because obviously that's his captain. So yeah, I think it was cool. Again, it was, I think it's not like anything huge, because we didn't really get anything new from it. But yeah. But what really annoys me about this chapter is like that Oda's teasing us this more information, because Luffy's asked, like, Robin's asking Luffy, do you want to know about this in the paper? And Luffy's like, no, I don't care. Like, this is why I don't like Luffy. Like, I get Luffy's like free-spirited and he's this and that, but I feel like he should pay attention. He should mature. I feel like he is still like a kid. I guess he is 19 years old, but come on, like, you're a freaking emperor. You shouldn't be, like, this is why I don't like Luffy as much as other characters, because, like, I know a lot of people love Luffy. Luffy does have Chad moments, and he can be cool, but he just sometimes annoys me as well, because it's like, bro, this is the stuff you should be reading about. You should be knowing about the enemies you're facing. Like, this is why I love Roger so much more than Luffy, because Roger, I'm gonna get it for another video, but I just like Roger way more than I like Luffy. But it just annoys me that Oda's teasing us this more information. Now, it could be about Kobe and Blackbeard, because that was in the papers, and Boa maybe, because we know Blackbeard attacked Amazon Lily, and the Seraphins, obviously, and, you know, Rayleigh, but I guess that's something that Robin, I guess, didn't tell Luffy about. I don't know. It's all just a bit weird, because Robin has so much information in that brain of hers. Like, it's ridiculous. She knows so much, but she never tells the crew anything. Like, we didn't even know in all the way back in Alabasta that she knew something about something in Wano. So it's mind-boggling. But anyway, yeah, that stuff was cool, I guess. I don't know where we're gonna go with it, but regardless, We will get Luffy's dream. I think we will get it when Luffy finds the One Piece. Because this is a dream after he becomes Pirate King. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, I think the only gripe I have about this chapter really is this stuff with the with Robin not just giving the information to Luffy. Because Luffy knows about Cross Guild obviously now with Buggy, Crocodile, and Mihawk, but I don't know why we're not getting stuff on anything else, but whatever. Because maybe there might be some more. But anyway, regardless, I want to get to the... I'm going to cover the... Actually, no. Let me get to the Emu stuff, because I want to talk about that. Wow. So, we're going back to the thing when Starbo contacted the revolutionaries. So, we found out a lot of things. Okay, so first of all, we know that the Marines were listening in on this conversation between the Starbo and the revolutionaries. But what we didn't know is that the Gorosei... So, the Gorosei are also listening in on this conversation as well. And, well, actually, I don't think they're listening on the conversation. I think the Marines told the Gorosei that Sabo is in I can't even pronounce the word, Lulusia. And we see Emu again, and God. Emu is becoming so more dangerous than we give him credit for. But, like, now he's feeling like an actual endgame villain. But I think people are saying that Emu destroyed Lulusia because Sabo was there. If you read the dialogue, it's implied that they were already planning to destroy Lulusia. They were already planning on destroying that country, obliterating it. And Sabo just happened to be there. Because that's what I'm getting at from this dialogue here. Because one of the Gorosei is saying he's an unlucky man, and one of them is saying, no, this is fate. So, again, that, I think, it's pure coincidence that Sabo was there. And again, and also Lulusia is, if you don't know, actually, it's the place where we saw the Revolutionary Army commanders for the first time. It's where like that whole peach beard thing happened. And also it's something in the Ace novel as well, which I didn't even know. I forgot about that. But I remember Lulusia Kingdom somewhere, and it was something to do with the revolutionaries, I remember, at one point. So it makes sense. And it is one of the 8 kingdoms that they were in. I forgot what chapter it was. It's when we got introduced to when Sabo was known as the Flame Emperor. We did find out there were 8 kingdoms that rebelled. So this is one of these kingdoms. So, and it's interesting because now we just found out that Lulusia was already planning on being destroyed. So Emu already wanted Lulusia destroyed. And this goes back to what they were talking about when the Gorosei was saying a light needs to be extinguished from this world. And one of the Gorosei says, please share the name with us. So my guess is that Lulusia was already on Emu's hit list before. And Sabo just happened to be there. So, yeah, it was pure coincidence, I think. But, yeah, we go back to the Sabo stuff. So, Sabo tells Dragon that he did not kill Cobra. And the other revolutionaries are happy and they're joyful. But Dragon's got a serious look in his eye. Because, obviously, I do think that there is a secret connection between Dragon and Cobra. I think they were friends at one point. I think that's why I think Cobra... Because I think in one of the reveries, I think in the past, all the way back in Alabasta, they brought up Dragon at one point. So... there could be a connection between King Cobra and a dragon that we don't know about yet. So that's why I think Dragon, when he heard that information, I think he reacted in a certain way. I don't think he actually believed it was Sabo, but he was obvious. If it was Sabo, I think he'd be furious. Because I don't know what kind of dynamic that would be between them. But it's interesting to see what's gonna happen. But yeah. And Sabo is telling them about the empty throne. So one thing I will say also from this is, Vivi was definitely not with Sabo. Because I've seen a lot of people say that Vivi is definitely with Sabo. 100% not now. I was saying this from the start. Vivi is with Emu. Emu, remember, going back to when Emu was introduced, he had a torn picture of Shirahoshi, Blackbeard, and Luffy. And he had a picture of Vivi going up to the empty throne. So my guess is that Emu has kidnapped Vivi. I don't know what Emu's plans are for Vivi, but regardless, Vivi was always going to be one of Emu's targets, I guess, as well. I don't think she's dead. I'm sure she's with Emu as a prisoner, probably. But Sabo, apparently, so when he got separated from the revolutionaries at the reverie, he stumbled upon the empty throne and he saw Emu there. So my guess is what happened here is that Emu... It said, I think it was the Gorosei who were there with Emu, but I think Emu was the one who killed Cobra himself, and Sabo happened to stumble upon it, and he saw what happened, and he saw Emu, and he bolted out of there. He escaped, and I think he didn't even think to look back. Now it's interesting because Sabo's got some. You see some bandages on it, like not band, like a plaster on his his nose or something. So he clearly got scuffed up a bit. I don't know if Emu did it, but and he's panicking as well. You can tell because even the Marines are saying that he didn't use a what was it? A white transponder signal to jam his call. So he was. You can tell that Sabo was really sweating about this information because again, this is huge news. Like the world knows that there is no one ruler. So that if word got out about this, it will spread. It will spread like wildfire, and the whole world will be like rebelling against the world government. But even the Marines would be as well. But yeah, this is just crazy. Emu is really looking like he's a final endgame villain. Now, one thing I will say also is we see a map of Lulusia. Now, I don't know if this is Emu doing it or if this is someone else, but because when we see Emu actually in the silhouette, the one where he's got the little butterflies and everything around him, it looks like he's holding something. So I think he's holding the map, and then we see him cross out Lulusia's name, and then obviously the next page we see Lulusia being destroyed. Now, I don't know. Now, this is the question, right? Is this Emu's power or is this something else? Now, if this is Emu's power, this is crazy. This is mental. This guy is broken. But what happened to Lulusia is so important because now we know what happened to God's Valley. 100%. 100%. Emu definitely destroyed God Valley. God Valley was on Emu's hit list as well. And I think also the same thing with the Lunarians. Now with the Lunarians, they might have resided on a certain. Maybe they tricked the Lunarians to go into a certain island, and then Emu fired off this weapon and killed. Because I think Emu is very old as well. I don't think he's some just random human. No, I think he's some ancient being that's been around for centuries. And I think he was responsible for killing the Lunarians because we don't know what happened to the Lunarians. Because even they're implied to be a very powerful race. So to even attempt to kill them, you've got to have some insane power. And the fact that the world government are using the Lunarian DNA to improve on the PX models is so important. But Emu right now is definitely the final villain of One Piece. Like after this chapter, he is looking. We haven't even met this character yet. We don't know if it's a female or if it's a male, but the fact that Sabo, you can see Sabo, he's panicking. He's panicking, he's terrified. And I think he's terrified of what he's just seen. Not just the fact that he killed Cobra, I think he's scared that, of Emu, maybe Emu himself. Because I feel like Emu is going to be someone quite powerful, but it's still hard to say at this point. But this chapter, if this is Emu's actual power, it's brokenness. I don't know what it even is, but the main theory I've seen is that this is Uranus, one of the ancient weapons that we know nothing about yet. And it makes sense because it's to do with the sky as well. And we don't know what it is. Is Uranus? Because we know that ancient weapons can be living beings as well. So it could be a creature. It could be something else maybe. But I think, again, people are saying that this country was destroyed because of Sabo. No. This country was already going to get destroyed, and Sabo was just happened to be there to hide out from what he just saw at the reverie. So again, Emu has I think once we get to learn more about Emu, we're going to learn more about how the way he thinks, because we don't know how many countries he's destroyed in the past. But this is so interesting because if Emu did this to God's Valley, then I'm assuming he did this to Rocks, because we know that Rocks and God's Valley were both wiped out from the map. So my guess is that all these dudes like Garp, Roger, Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, they all left God's Valley, and Rocks was there by himself. And then eventually the light came down and it just obliterated the island. So Rocks was dead, and so was God's Valley. Because after this chapter, there is no way that this is something. This has definitely happened before. And I think even same thing with Ohara. I think once Ohara was destroyed, because we know like there was a busticle on Ohara, but what happened after the busticle? What happened when Robin left Ohara and when the Marines left? What happened to it? Did it become a barren wasteland, or did something destroy it? And I think that's it. I think this country was obliterated by Emu. So Emu's done this, I think, several times to a lot of countries. But yeah, this is crazy. And also it's interesting because now, is Sabo dead? And my guess is probably not, because we know he's. I think, well, one, he's Luffy's brother. Like, there's no way he's dead. So I'm thinking maybe, right? I'm thinking, because he's a Logia type, and I think he could fly because of his Mera Maranomi. We don't know if the Mera Maranomi has ability to fly, but maybe he can fly. So I'm going to assume that Sabo managed to get away, but it's very... I don't think Oda would kill Sabo like that. There is no way he would do that. So I don't think he's dead. And I know people say this is a fake out death. Like, no one's gonna believe this is a real death. Like, there was no emotion behind it, nothing. Like, this is not really considered a fake out death, I would say. I think this makes sense because if you go back to One Piece Film Z, actually, with Kizaru and Zed, when Zed threw the Dynastone at Kizaru and it exploded the entire island or something, Kizaru was fine. So I think because of his low durability again, because he's made of light, and I think because Sabo's made of fire, he won't be like, you know, he wouldn't be obliterated like that. So maybe Sabo had time to escape when he saw the blast. So yeah. But what happens next is then we see Bonnie, and this I think is going to be interesting because we know Bonnie was at the Reverie as well. We get her bounty actually, it's 320. I think that's the same as we already knew it, but again, we don't know. But the fact that Bonnie is there, now I don't know if Bonnie's going to explain what happened at the Reverie to the Straw Hats, because at one point she definitely is going to, I think she's going to reveal some stuff, but I wonder if she was there also with Sabo. Because this is all a bit messed up, because the revolutionaries, so Limber, Karasu, and Morley got away and they got back to Kamabaka Kingdom. Sabo was separated from them and he happened to stumble upon the Pangaea Castle where he saw Imu. And then he bolted out as well and he went somewhere. Bonnie was there. My guess is she was there for Kuma. But what's interesting is Bonnie's in a water current. So I don't know what happened there. Did she have to jump down to save herself? Did she see Imu as well? There's so many questions right now. Again, I don't know what kind of role Bonnie's going to have, because we know there is some importance to Bonnie, because Akainu even kind of alluded that there is something different about Bonnie than just being an average pirate. So again, this is all really interesting, but I don't think I've missed anything out. But yeah, this is the chapter. I think the highlight of this chapter was clearly Imu, because I don't know what he just did. Well, whatever he just did, because whether he did this himself or whether he had an ancient weapon, because this, I think, if this is an ancient weapon, this is crazy. This explains why the ancient weapons are so dangerous now. Like, at first, like, I think Shirahoshi's ancient weapon is a bit mid. Like, she has the power to control Sea Kings, but we know Sea Kings are nothing. So, honestly, like, Shirahoshi's power is not, like, that impressive. But this power, oh my god, like, this power looks nasty. Dangerous. If this is Uranus, then Uranus is definitely the most powerful ancient weapon, 100%. And the world government having it makes a lot of sense, because the world government are the ultimate power in the world. So, but yeah, really, I think a pretty solid chapter. If I had to rate it, I would say it's about an 8 or 9. I'll give it a 9, because the only reason why it's not a 10 is because I didn't like the fact that Robin was hiding more information from us. Like, we might as well just get things revealed at this point. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe, peace out, have a good day.